G'day guys, how are we? So, in this video I am going to be standing in front of my beautiful car again, my 2006 WRX, and we are going to be talking about the best modifications to do to one of these, or just any Subaru in general. So without me just keep blahing as you want to call it and keep talking, let's get straight into number one. So number one is basically every single person with a WRX, or even the Imprezas, the RS ones, has one of these. They have an exhaust system. So Subarus are like the best sounding cars, I swear. Maybe not the best, but definitely one of the top tier ones. I personally think they sound absolutely amazing. Now, my car's got a completely 3-inch straight pipe the whole way through with 2 blast pipes hanging out the back. So yeah, it is not pretty, it is extremely loud. I personally love it. I don't drive this every single day, so I don't have to worry about that sort of side of things. But yeah. Doing an exhaust system on a WRX is a must, or just any Subaru is a must. They sound so good. The NA ones not as much, and same with the, I think it's the new, is it VA, the normal WRX ones, because they got equal length headers. They still sound sick, but getting your hands on an unequal length of headers makes the rumble come out and it sounds amazing. So I highly recommend getting an exhaust system. That would personally be my first modification if I bought a WRX completely stock. Exhaust systems are definitely the way to go. Anyways, on to number two. So number two is going to be coilovers or bags. So as you guys can tell, we're pretty damn low. So I am on bags. I want to get a lot lower. I personally think, as if you guys watched in the last video or the video before, I don't know what order this is going out, you will know that I want to get a lot lower. I am currently on bags. I'm running Airflex suspension, and the only thing that's limiting me with going any lower is my subframe. My axles are currently smacking up against it every single time I bogue over a bump, basically. So I need to basically notch the frame, I guess, is a way of explaining it. And so my axles can sit basically inside the frame, which I'm going to be doing kind of soon, I guess. So yeah, that is definitely exciting to think of. But yeah, in my opinion, bags or coilovers make the car handle so much better. Everyone goes on about, oh, bags don't handle as good as coilovers. I completely disagree with that. Yes, probably a perfect, like a very high range coilover that would beat bags, but I don't honestly think by that much. I think bags are a very, very, very good sort of handling modification anyways, because like I've kept up with multiple people that are on coilovers and they've got quicker cars. So either, no offense, they can't drive, or bags aren't as bad as people say they are. So yeah, I went from coilovers to bags. I really didn't notice that much of a difference. Coilovers are a little bit more direct, but not really worth, I mean, I can go up and down, like what's cooler than that? Anyways, but yeah, coilovers and bags, definitely the next modification I would recommend getting, so yes. So the next modification I would recommend to do on a Subaru would be wheels and tires. Now, I have really cheap tires on just for the sole fact of the fitment of my flares. I can't cut any more of the fender. So basically right now it's quite literally cutting into my tire, so I run through tires quite quickly. That is gonna get fixed pretty soon. It's just the flares on this that I bought, which are meant to be the best of the best, are not the best. So yeah. But basically, I would highly recommend getting good tires. When I had good tires in this car handled tremendous. Like it is out of this world how much of a difference it actually makes. Whenever I used to watch these videos when I was younger before I had a car, I didn't think it would really make a difference. But it is insane how big of a difference it makes. Now with the wheels, you don't have to get wheels. I just would recommend it. Seems, one, it makes the car look better. 2, you can get lighter ones if you want to track the car. And also, yeah, they just look better, I reckon. And while you're there, you may as well spend the extra little bit of money and get wheels while you're at it, because since you're already getting tires. Sometimes there's actually deals as well if you get wheels and tire packages. So yeah, I personally would recommend getting that, and it is seriously out of this world difference. Like it is insane. So yeah, would highly recommend getting that. So on to the next modification. So the next modification, I would highly recommend getting a cold air intake. So when I got this cold air intake, I had the flutter going, which was basically me blocking off the block off plate, which I have a video of. I'll put that down in the description. And it sounded sick. It was a little dose inside the car and it was pretty damn cool. But now I've got the blow off valve, so I don't really use it for that, so you can't hear it as much for that. Cold air intakes obviously up your power by quite a bit. I am still untuned. I know some of you guys are gonna be, oh no, he's untuned on a Subaru. It's been through all these tests. I've had a street tuner go in, hook it up to his laptop. Everything was fine on it. The car's running perfectly. A little bit, well, very rich, hence the reason why I get basically no fuel economy, which everyone was surprised about in one of the other videos that I was talking about how I only get about probably 250 to 350 kilometers a tank. But that is because my car is running ridiculously rich and it is not tuned. I need to get a aftermarket ECU to tune it, so that's the reason why. But yeah, so I personally think cold air intake makes the car just sound awesome. Like, induction noises are so cool, especially when I first put it on, from having none to having it just sucking up everything. It sounds mad. But yeah, obviously for power as well, you need one. But yeah, I love my intake. I've got a parent intake. But yeah, so I would highly recommend a cold air intake. Now, on to the next one, because we don't want to make this video for too long. So let's go. Let's get on to the next mod. The next thing I would recommend you getting for your Subaru is some gauges. We all know how prone Subarus are to blowing up. My girlfriend's already blown, well, she's on her third motor in her car. They blow up, and she does not look after it badly, so that's not the reason. But yeah, they blow up like crazy, hence the reason why I have gauges. I've only got 3 in there at the moment. I'm gonna get a few more just so I make sure everything is completely perfect in the car. But yeah, so I would highly recommend getting gauges. I run Pro Sport gauges. You can get a whole kit, including the pod that goes in the center of the car, from Car Mods Australia. So that's where I get mine from. I think it was about $700, which isn't too bad really. But yeah, so I have mine set up, which I have boost, oil temp, and oil pressure. I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm gonna get a few more ones to chuck in the car. But yeah, so gauges would highly recommend there, or a cob access port where you can also see it, or even sometimes people can get those little Bluetooth connectors, and you can plug them into your stereo system, and they have like all little gauge symbols and exactly what's going on. So yeah, would highly recommend getting one of them. You need one for a Subaru because it will blow up. The next modification, the next mod would be a short shifter. I currently haven't got this in my car, but I have plenty of mates that have got the short shifter in the car. For instance, Fletcher, he has one in his car. It is like, makes a world of a difference. You're in it and it's just clunky, and it just feels great. It's a lot shorter as well. The throw is basically nothing compared to this, so I really need to get my hands on one. But yeah, that is definitely worth it. I can't really go on too much about it because I don't have one, but from when I've driven with one in the car, it's really, really nice to drive. It just makes the driving experience so much better. So yes, 100% a short shifter. That is highly recommended. On to the next modification. The next mod is a blow-off valve. So I am currently running a GFB response. Yes, a GFB response in my car. Completely forgot I was running there for a second. And so you can basically, with the GFB response, you can turn it, like turn a little dial on it, and it has either opened or closed. I absolutely love this blow-off valve. It is by far, in my opinion, the best blow-off valve, because like I said, you can just change it just so quickly. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I would never probably go any other ones, because my girlfriend had one that you had to actually like unscrew it and put a new one in if you want to open and close it. Whereas this one, like I said, you just screw it, like you just turn it, and it is perfect. But yeah, I love the blow-off valve. It also allows you to push more power. So apparently, from what I've heard, the stock blow-off valves can't really hold too much power. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that. So I went and be safe, and I guess preparing myself for the future, and got myself a blow-off valve. So a blow-off valve is definitely highly recommended, especially if you're going to be going for power. So yes. The next modification, this is number 8 out of 10, I believe. So the next modification is brakes. If that includes brake pads, which I've done, fluids, which I've done, you can get, for instance, Keen. He has, I believe, Brembo or STI brakes. I don't know if they're the same, I really don't know. But anyways, upgrading the brakes of any means, that makes a huge difference. GD brakes are already decently good. I'm not sure about other WRXs, but even me just upgrading pads and fluid, it made an insane difference. Like, it seriously did. I'm going to be doing rotors soon, going to be doing slotted or drilled rotors. I haven't really made my decision up yet. Drilled rotors and slotted rotors, they both look mad, and it's kind of the reason why I want them, as much as it's horrible for me to say that. But yeah, so upgrading brakes is definitely a important part of your car, especially if you're going to be upgrading power, because you need to make sure you can stop as well. But also, if you've got to track your car, upgrading the brakes is definitely going to help you, so you don't get overheated, like anything overheated, which Ben tracked his car that was completely stock with everything other than, I think, some upgraded pads, and his whole brake system caught on fire. So that was quite of a fun day. But yeah, so brakes are definitely a necessity, and I would highly recommend upgrading. So on to number 9. So number 9, now as you guys were just listening to me earlier talking about brakes, I was saying that one of my mates had a fire in his car. Now I've also had 2 fires on my car, one in the engine bay and one on the rear bumper. The engine bay one was from coolant hitting parts that it shouldn't, and then it kind of flamed up a little bit. It wasn't too bad, it was a very mini fire. And then I had a little bit of a bigger fire in the rear end of my car when my car decided to pop a flame and the whole rear bumper vinyl caught on fire because it's a little bit daggling out. So yeah, that was more scary. But anyways, so I've had 2 fires in my car, and the biggest thing I would swear I'm gonna even get it on all cars I have, like dailies, everything, is a fire extinguisher. Now I know one of the people that I know actually recently had their car completely burned to the ground on a G3. It's not fun. It's just crap to even hear about that happening, because it just sucks, especially when you're having a fire extinguisher. You're just going to sit there and watch your car burn. I would highly recommend getting a fire extinguisher for the safety of you and your car, and even your passengers. Like, you can't go wrong. Like, it's not that expensive at all. I have a bracket in my car that mounts to the passenger seat, and I have a fire extinguisher that I bought from Bunnings, I believe, and it was like literally nothing. So please, this is actually like me asking you to, please install a fire extinguisher. It will save you, your car, everyone around you. Please do that. Anyways, on to the last modification, plus I've got one bonus for you. So the last modification that I again don't have, but I have plenty of mates with them, and holy crap is it amazing, are some bucket seats or racing seats or something like that. So all the boys, well, most of the boys have this in their GDs, and we get them from Crank Motorsport in Australia. It is basically an eBay store. I don't know if other countries have it, I'm not sure. I would imagine they would, it's just eBay, so you would think so. And you sit in them and they snug you so tight, it is amazing. So ones that really fit nice are the large. The extra large are a little bit big for me. I'm 6'2", I think, yeah, 6'2", I was about to say 6'3". I'm not gonna up myself that much. I am 6'2", I weigh 75 kilos, so I am quite skinny, but I've got mates that are a little bit bigger than me, and they fit perfectly into a large as well. The large is the perfect size. If you're a little bit bigger, maybe go extra large. But yeah, they're awesome just to sit in the seats. They're like ridiculous, and they sit lower as well, which is awesome. So I would highly recommend getting those seats, which I'm going to be getting as soon as I can get my hands on some, when I have the money for it. But yeah, I need to do up the BMW and get that working first. But yes, would highly recommend getting some seats. Plus they look mad, they make your car look so cool. But the sitting in it and driving in it just is awesome. Anyways, moving on to the bonus. So I appreciate you guys for watching the rest of the video. And for a little thank you, I guess, I'm going to give you a bonus modification. So the bonus modification I'm going to be talking about is a head gasket delete. So I don't know if you guys knew this is actually a thing. So basically you can open up your engine and get rid of pretty much all the gaskets around your car, especially Siri's talking to me. But yeah, you can open up your engine, you can delete all the gaskets basically, and I mean, everyone goes on about the head gasket joke, so like, why not just get rid of it? That's my opinion, at least. I'm going to be doing that extremely soon. I am very excited to do that, so yeah, because then I don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Yeah, awesome. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 500 subs. Right now we're at 499. So I appreciate you guys greatly for that. And by the way, that last one was a joke. Please don't actually do that. And I will see you guys next video. See yous.